Coming up on Sports Weekly, the CIF Southern Section Football Playoff brackets are out. We know which teams made the playoffs and where they will be playing in the first round. The Cajon Cowboys, they will be in Division 3. We'll have more on their first round matchup in a moment. Plus, we will check in with the Aquinas Falcons. We got bonus highlights from their big win against Big Bear to wrap up an outright league championship in the Ironwood League. And we'll hear from head coach Jordan Brusig. They'll be in Division 5. And a little bit later in the show, we've got San Gorgonio head coach Chris Chaddick and offensive coordinator Gary Hedlund as San G brought home a Skyline League title this year. So a lot of high school football. We'll also talk high school volleyball with Indian Springs, the Coyotes, coming off their best season ever. Not only going to the playoffs for the first time in school history, but also winning their first ever playoff match this season. And they got a lot of players coming back next year. All that and more coming up on this edition of Sports Weekly on IEMG, and it starts right now. And what is up, everybody? Welcome to Sports Weekly on IEMG. I'm your host, Pep Fernandez. Make sure you subscribe to the IE Media Group YouTube channel before we go any further, because we got some great stuff in this show. We got some interviews with Jordan Brusig, the head football coach at Aquinas, Chris Chaddick and Gary Hedlund at San Gorgonio, some great highlights, and Indian Springs volleyball. But we start with high school football, and before we get to the highlights and before we get to the interviews, let's take a look at the first round matchups involving San Bernardino schools and the leagues that they belong to. Let's start in Division 3. Cajon will be on the road at Pacifica in Oxnard. So a long road trip coming up for the Cowboys. They're the runners-up in the CBL, the Citrus Belt League champion, of course, Citrus Valley this year. They will play on the road at Lusinger. So we had 3 teams from the CBL in Division 3, and they're all on the road. That includes Beaumont. Beaumont will be on the road up in the high desert, taking on a very tough Oak Hills team. So a tough draw for our Citrus Belt League schools. In Division 5, it'll be your Ironwood League champion Aquinas on the road at Foothill in Orange County. We'll talk more about the Falcons in just a moment and hear from Jordan Brusig, their head coach. In Division 5, Eisenhower, your Sunkist League champion, will play on the road at Orange Vista, the Ivy League champion. That's one of the best games in the Inland Empire this upcoming week. In Division 6, we've got another Citrus Belt League school. Yucaipa will be home for Miracosta. That's D6. Yucaipa, the 4th place team out of the CBL, but they still get in. In Division 8, the Summit Skyhawks from out of the Sunkist League, they will be at home against Covina in 8. Also in Division 8, Jurupa Hills, they get an at-large bid from out of the Sunkist. They will play on the road at Irvine. That's D8. Moving on a little bit to Division 9, Kaiser, your San Andreas League champion, they will play at Dominguez to open up the D9 playoffs. And also in Division 10, Redlands. So 5 of the 6 CBL schools make the playoffs. Redlands, another at-large selection in Division 10. They will play at San Marino. Now to Division 11, it's getting real good now. San Gorgonio will play at Ramona. San G, the Skyline League champ. Ramona, an at-large team, 4th place out of the River Valley League. Also in Division 12, Arrowhead Christian will take on Arroyo as we go from D11 to D12. So the Eagles will start off at home. Rim of the World, the San Andreas League runner-up, they will play on the road at Santa Fe. That's also in Division 12. And one more in D12, it's going to be Arroyo Valley on the road at Buena Park. We'll talk more about the Hawks in just a moment. So that's Division 12. And finally, in Division 13, we got A.B. Miller taking on Grace Brethren. A.B. Miller, one of the co-champions. We had 3 champs out of the Mountain Valley League. The Rebels were one of the champs. San Bernardino also one of the champions. San Bernardino will play on the road at Bloomington, and that's one of the best matchups this upcoming week. Both those teams know how to run the football. And finally, in D13, the other Mountain Valley League champion, Supa Dupa Harupa Valley will take on Desert Hot Springs. So those are your first round matchups coming up this week in the CIF Southern Section playoffs. Right now, we want to talk some Division 5, the Aquinas Falcons. These are bonus highlights from their big win against Big Bear. We didn't have time to squeeze them all into Sports Weekly Live, so here's some bonus footage from our guy, the old St. Pepe, coming up with some big-time video of this win for the Falcons, which gave them the outright league championship in the Ironwood. Champ Brown's run, setting up Alex Mercado on that TD there for the Falcons. They would be in control all game long against the visiting Bears. On this play, it's going to be JoJo Solis in the flat, gets to the end zone for the touchdown. How about some defense? Hunter Preen, the sack, a big loss there for the Bears, and Preen again. The guy was all over the place. Back to offense with the Falcons. Quarterback Malachi Jones to Marcus McGillberry. He's in for the touchdown. Nice grab there by McGillberry. And then it's going to be more from, well, you guessed it, JoJo Solis. This time he's going to go right up the middle, right at the camera, and a touchdown there for the Falcons. And then Solis, how about another catch here? And he's going to do the rest. The yards after the catch, they call it the YAC, Y-A-C, yards after the catch. Solis all the way down the sideline, in for the touchdown. Aquinas wins 47-12 to wrap up the Ironwood League Championship, and now to the D5 playoffs. Here's head coach Jordan Brusig. What's the message to maybe some of your players who maybe they haven't been around the program long enough to know that, Aquinas has won championships, they've been to championship games, at least under your leadership, you guys routinely make deep playoff runs. What's kind of the message about the legacy that you guys have built there and just the importance of keeping that going? Like, this is a team that has the talent and, an opportunity to do something special again this postseason.
Yeah, the holding everything that we do to the foundation of our program, having great faith, having a great attitude, being a person that's willing to sacrifice for your team, defending the tradition is important. And, if they don't understand that, that's how you get beat. If you're not a humble football player, how the heck could you improve? You can't. You want to make a deep run, that's great. But every single week, whether it's week 11, week 12, week 16, week 0, it doesn't matter. There's something that you want to get better at. If that's the focus and you believe in what we're doing, those things kind of take care of themselves. You get to the playoffs, everybody's good, everybody's got talent. What are the things that are going to separate you? Hopefully the tradition that we have here that was set in motion, 23 years ago, as far as I'm concerned, that is what we're defending every day we walk out on the field and put a helmet on.
And next up, how about the Cajon Cowboys winning a shootout against Beaumont 34-30 in a battle for second place in the Citrus Belt League. The Cowboys mentioned going on the road to Pacifica in Oxnard. That's going to be a tough road trip for the Cowboys, but if any team can make a run in D3, it would be Cajon. And San Gorgonio, as we mentioned, your Skyline League champion, going on the road to beat Bloomington in week number 10, 27-13, to finish a perfect 5-0 in league play and win a league championship. The Spartans team that went 2-8 last year, a full bounce back this season. San Bernardino beating Pacific in the final week 39-12 to share the Mountain Valley League title with Supa Dupa Harupa Valley and A.B. Miller, all of them finishing atop at 4-1 in the Mountain Valley League. So a three-way tie for the Mountain Valley League title. So now we go to the playoffs, and you can get all your scores and highlights on Sports Weekly Live. I hope you join me on Saturday morning as we break down the first round of the playoffs. All right, when we come back here on Sports Weekly on IEMG, we'll talk with the San Gorgonio Spartans, league champions, now on to the playoffs. That's next on Sports Weekly on IEMG.